Hey, what's up? How's it going, YouTube? Jules Davis here, and I'm just standing in a new property of mine. So what I'm going to talk to you about on this video is my business plan for 2024. In 2024, I plan on buying 10 houses, okay? And this is how I'm going to do it and what I'm going to do. This is the business plan. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't put your business plan online. I say, why? Well, because then other people will copy you. And I say, well, that's okay. Let them copy me. McDonald's put their business plan. Online for all to see. Interesting thing about McDonald's, they make more money selling burgers. Sorry, they make more money in property than they do selling burgers. There we go. Anyway, business plan. The first two houses, not necessarily in this order, but house number 1 and house number 2 are going to be HMOs, much like this one's going to be when we finally get furniture and tenants in here. Well, it's already coming now, but this is going to be an HMO. So the first two houses that we buy in 2024, not necessarily in this order, might be the last two we buy, I don't know, are going to be HMOs, houses of multiple occupancy. So we're going to get 2 houses that are in good condition that can already be let out straight away. Trying to find the right, this isn't a bad spot standing under the light, good lighting. And so we can rent them out straight away as HMOs, 4, 5, 6 bed, in a city centre, near management, preferably, at least 4 lettable rooms, and in a good area. So that's what we want to try and achieve for that. House number 3 and house number 4 are going to be purchase lease option agreements. Lease option agreements. That's where you buy a house now, but agree to pay for it later. Okay, so purchase lease option agreement. People will do that if their house has been on the market for a while, and maybe it's an investment house. They don't happen to actually live in it themselves, or maybe they're in negative equity. There's lots of reasons why, and tax reasons too. Landlords selling portfolios. I negotiated a lease option once because the landlord was selling off his portfolio and he just didn't need the money there. You know, he can do with having the money paid on a different tax year. So there's reasons why people would do lease option agreements and agree to do that. You can't just go to any old house and say, I'll buy it now, but I'll pay for it later. You can't do that. But you have the title deeds. Is there for you to have. The solicitor sorts it all out at proper restrictions, and yeah, it's a really good way of buying houses actually, because you just have the legal fees and then you just pay the monthly mortgage and monthly insurance, maintenance, but then you fix the price and pay for it down the line, and it's really good. When you come to buy, it's interesting with mortgages because mortgage lenders won't give you a buy-to-let mortgage if you already have an interest in the house. What's the interest in the house? You already lease it. So when you come to buy, you have to be careful with the strategy of how you actually fulfill that within the lease term as well. So that's going to be property number 3 and 4. They're going to be lease option agreements, buy now, pay later. House number 5 is going to be a house that needs work doing to it that we can buy, do the work, turn it into an HMO, and then sell it once we get it tenanted, and then sell it as a working HMO. I have investors on my list right now, on my investor list, that are people interested in buying working HMOs. So I could just create one and sell it to them. So that's house number 5. House number 6 is title deed splitting, sometimes called slicing and dicing. Title chopping, as I call it. We're going to buy a house, we're going to turn it into 2 apartments, and then we're going to split the title deeds and sell them separately as freehold properties. And I already know how I'm going to finance that project as well, and we're going to do it in 2024, and it's probably actually going to be the first one we do. So we buy a house, split it into 2 flats and sell it, and then that will be ready for sale toward the end of 2024. So we'll buy it early. And then by the time the builders have done the works, it'll probably be October that we actually come to sell. So that is property number 6. Property number 7, we're going to go to auction house. We're going to buy a house at auction that needs work doing to it. We're going to push the value up on that property, and then we're going to refinance and rent it out and keep keep the property. So that's property number 7. Property number 8, we're going to buy a house in the north of England, Birmingham or somewhere in the north of England, where you can buy in a good part of the area, but it's the worst house on the best street, where you can buy maybe just a cheap house at 40, 50, 60,000 pounds, spend 20, 30,000 pounds, significantly lift the value, and then potentially refinance and keep and rent it out. So that's in the north of England, buying just cheap houses, and we'll get one there as well. So where are we now? I think we've got 2 properties left. Yes, so property number 8 is a seaside apartment. We're going to possibly do Airbnb, booking.com service accommodation. And that brings me to property number 10. So we're going to have a seaside apartment that we rent out, maybe by the night. And then property but number 10 is going to be a Airbnb in a city centre. So we're going to get an Airbnb in a city centre. That would be property number 10. Now, that's booking.com, Airbnb, Verbo, you know. We are about to, the town that we just got this property in South Norfolk, we're about to take on as a company, me and my business partner, we're about to take on an Airbnb in this location as well. It currently is a 2-floor apartment over 2 floors, but we're going to turn it into an Airbnb. That apartment, it's in the town centre, so that will be good as well. So yeah, between now and the end of 2024, we'll have dozens of houses. So anyway, that's the plan, and we're going to add at least 10 more to the portfolio next year. And who knows, we might do more than that. We might get some more lease option agreements. We might get another rent to rent. I don't know. We could do all sorts of things. But that's just the plan of the 10 that I plan to buy next year. And if we do more than that, fantastic. And then obviously on the side, I'm also deal sourcing. So I'm finding these deals that investors particularly want and then passing them on to the investors for a finder's fee. So in between times, I'm also sourcing properties as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Catch up with you soon. My voice went up there.